You're on.
Nope, Micah.
It is currently March
I see where
4th,
we've gone here.
Yes.
the year 2022.
The third episode.
Micah has
Tonight.
It is
revealed
episode
himself
C.
as a Russian asset.
I am not Russian asset, I am Russia.
Hey, you know what?
Johnny
Fun
Cowboy.
fact, I don't know about you guys, but I have Ukrainian and Russian blood
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that doesn't matter.
ancestry. It
Yeah.
really doesn't. As a
It doesn't
human,
matter at
I
all.
am just sad about everything.
Yeah. Mhm.
But fun fact.
Oh, I really want to change it now to isn't it obvious heritage is just bullshit. And a
yes,
way of
especially in America.
Yeah.
establishing
No, it is.
Such
ingrained
bullshit.
racism.
Yep.
Especially with St. Patrick's Day coming around the corner. It's
You know,
like,
that's
woo!
that is like one European country that I don't weirdly have in my
St.
ancestry.
Patrick?
No, Irish. Weirdly, but
Why does it matter?
It doesn't. But just throwing it out there, I'm a mutt. I'm probably the biggest.
Everyone's a mutt.
I know, but I'm probably a bigger
Excuse
mutt
you.
than both of you.
Yes, it's
I'm
true.
actually 70% Norwegian, so.
Yeah, I'm a bigger mutt than both of you combined.
I'm pretty sure I'm a lot more Japanese than my parents are letting me on. So
Aw.
let's go on.
Hello and welcome to Isn't It Obvious? I am your slightly inebriated host, Micah, and joining me is a slightly inebriated Sera and a stone cold sober Phil.
It's
Very
true.
sad. Very
it's
sad.
true.
Just drinking water.
Hey,
Oh,
there's
God, I
not
thought
life
it was
juice
water.
is
I
good.
wish.
And my topic for today's episode, isn't it obvious that every state in America should have a state-owned 4 major sports?
No,
4 major sports?
no.
But including, like, MLS, including WNBA, including
Sure.
softball.
That's too
Yeah.
many. That's like 50. That's too much. Nope. No.
Why would you say... I mean, because right now, doesn't California have like multiple
3, I think.
of
That
each?
was a lot, yeah.
Like they have multiple, NFL
They have
teams, multiple...
They have
Baseball.
5 baseball
No,
teams,
5 baseball.
they have 4 football teams, they have 4 hockey teams, they have 4 basketball teams.
It
Yeah.
makes sense for them, right?
Oh, 'cause
Well,
they're
it's just
so
where
big.
population is.
Yeah.
But also, with this, so you have, like, I guess Golden State we've got up. So you have the 2 LA teams. You have the LA Rams and the LA Chargers in football. I would say that the Chargers are now just owned by Utah. And Utah gets the money, even though they play in LA.
Like the Utah Jazz.
Yeah.
Because Utah's known for their jazz.
Yeah. Much like LA is known
They're
for its lakes.
super.
Yeah,
huge.
yeah.
Yeah, fair enough.
What's a Dallas Star? Right?
Actually, they
I'm
were
sure that
originally
makes a
Those
lot
stars.
of sense.
But there's a Lone Star,
Mm.
which also the Daily Today was infuriating with their pledge to the Texan flag.
Yeah, that was gross.
It was real gross. They're totally going to
But
succeed.
whatever. It's
And they're going
Texas.
to collapse. It's going to be great.
They can't succeed. They don't want to have to deal with
They
big
won't
government.
succeed.
They
They want to
can't.
succeed.
they
Oh, well,
think
yeah.
they do. They think it would be so much better being on their own, but they're wrong.
Until another inch of snow falls and they lose another 5,000 citizens.
Yeah, but isn't their whole point that they want less bureaucracy? But if they actually are their own country, they have to have a shit ton more
Oh, I
bureaucracy,
know.
right?
It's always fun to say less. We want less regulations. When in reality, as soon
Like-
as you anyone who tries to start a fucking stupid commune down in South America, they're thinking it's going to be way easier to live there because they can make their own rules. Well, as soon as you get I don't know, above 50 people,
Yeah.
you
Yeah,
need
that's
to
what
start
they're
making
trying
some
to do. That's about right.
goddamn rules.
That's why they
That's
turn
about
into
right.
death cults, because the leader's just like, this is too much fucking work. Everyone's
pretty
going
much,
to die.
Pretty much.
It's the right call, right?
Oh, God. fucking Haley's Comet is coming? Oh, thank you, B. Thank you, B, for planning this.
Yeah.
But I
Anyway, but it should be state-owned.
after
Like,
suicide
states
death
should be
cults,
making
Yeah.
a profit off of these not-for-profit sporting organizations.
I mean, we certainly
Not
have a
for
lot of
profit.
state expenses.
Uh-huh.
I think many. Are we still paying for the shitty metro that we just
no,
demolished?
No, that's paid off. We're still paying for the U.S. Bank Stadium.
Oh, sure. Yeah,
Because
okay.
the 1.2 billion, the Wilfs only put in 100 million.
Yeah, so
Everything
we're
else is paid
certainly
for by us.
paying a shit
And we're
ton.
not making the money when the Rolling Stones plays there, or when that's used for any other type of venue.
Yep. And
But-
I have been there one time.
I went there once, had
I've
vertigo,
never
and it made me really hate football. Because I was up in the third
Yeah,
tier,
it's like the
and looking
worst.
down 500 feet, it's like, no, I am not comfortable with this.
But was it other than the shitty design of it? Was it a pleasurable
The Metro
experience? No, the
I didn't
US
even.
Bank?
U.S. Bank.
No.
I didn't even go see the Vikings play. I went and saw the Tottenham Hotspurs play.
Oh,
They came and visited, and they were playing some shitty team that I can't remember. Anyway.
Do you buy like beer or hot dogs or anything?
I did
when you were
not. We drank beforehand, and then we went to visit the game, and then we left, and then we drank some more, and it was great. And then we weirdly, randomly walked into a gay bar by accident, and that was hilarious.
There's no way this gay 90s is gay.
Gay 90s isn't gay.
Oh my god, it was so funny. I was
Meant
with
for a bunch of lesbians.
my
And single women to go to. And not be hit on.
Oh man,
I
it
don't
was
think-
the greatest because we walk in thinking we were just gonna get a beer while we were waiting for our Uber to arrive or whatever, and there's these like two men sitting there. One of them's in like, not even kidding, like leathers and bondage fucking gear, and it was. And they were giving my uncle this great look, and I was just having a time. It was great.
Excuse me, sir. Does
They-
your
I
whole
mean-
body smell like a jockstrap?
Honestly, they were
day,
like
or is
super.
it just localized?
No,
to
they
the
were
sweating
super
areas?
nice. They served us, and it was fine. But like, it was super awkward when we realized where we were.
Not awkward. Just let people.
We were
be
just people being people. But yeah, it was.
Then why was it ever awkward?
It was awkward because
People are awkward. That's why.
people are awkward, and it wasn't like we didn't know, right? Like I'm not super familiar with the downtown area, and it was late.
It's called the gay 90s.
It wasn't the gay 90s. It was like.
Plus, gay 90s isn't gay. I keep saying this to you guys. You don't believe me.
I think it was.
It's very heteronormative, but mainly for females.
I can't remember what it was called either. Oh well, it doesn't matter. But yeah, I don't know. It was funny. It was funny.
Uncle Willie's down Periscope.
God damn it, it's an inside joke that no one's gonna get. Anyway,
No. There's enough innuendo for that the inside joke is just extra sprinkling.
oh well, maybe I'm just too lizardy to get it then.
Give it a second, like most innuendos.
Do you think that the state should be involved in sports, though? Right? Like, shouldn't they just tax them and that's how they get their money?
Nope, I think they should be involved because that, as part of a government curriculum, I think would be better use of the sport as the
Revenue.
idea of the sport, the revenue for the state, as well as like a state pride type thing.
Yeah, I would agree with that part of it because like I feel like a lot of states that don't have a sport trifecta or whatever don't really have like any pride in their state. Like there's no, or they rely on college teams,
College teams,
Yes,
for
which
sure.
is worse.
which is worse because it's basically
Amateur.
slavery. Well, slavery,
Amateur slavery.
amateur slavery.
No, it's not amateur slavery. It's
Professional slavery with amateur wages.
No, it's a misuse of applications because the colleges that are signing these kids to play in sports for making more money for the college are taking up grants and other educational opportunities for people who want to use college to actually learn and not have a pedestal for further athletic accomplishments.
Yeah.
Well,
That's my issue with like Idaho caring so much about their blue field at Idaho State.
Let's talk about what is it? The North Dakota Bison? Is that it? Or is Bison a Minnesota thing?
No, Bison's NDSU.
Okay, so it is North Dakota.
Are you talking about UND, the soup?
No, the
No,
Bison.
Not the Flicker Tails?
The Bison.
the flicker.
Because
Flicker.
there's like a weird,
Tails.
crazy following in the northern of the north part of the state for the Bison, and it's Bison, not Bison.
But also the
Yes.
the
They're very specific.
the
about
Bison
it.
have won like 7 of the last 8 of their
Yeah,
football
so they're
championships
so
in their
they're a
division.
solid team, great.
But they will get crushed by actual
Yeah,
college
absolutely.
teams.
Oh yeah, like in the
Like Alabama would destroy them.
Yep. But like the small town feel of them, like that's where they put all their pride because they don't have any real teams.
Mhm.
Like all they have is the Vikings next door, you know, or
They're
that's
not really
it.
next door. They also have Denver.
North Dakota?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
North Dakota has nothing. Man.
North Dakota has nothing.
Yeah.
No, they.
This is why they're so obsessed with their bison because they
Yeah.
have nothing
They have
else.
nothing else.
Well,
So they
who's
just
gonna cheer on
exploit
the-
their poor college kids.
Yeah.
And that is, it's literal exploitation. Sure, they get maybe a scholarship, but like,
This
that's not worth it.
the only form of real entertainment that has a connection.
Yeah, I don't know, it's frustrating. So if you had like an
But
actual
wouldn't it be
team-
better if you had the national North Dakota Bison?
Bison?
Well, I don't know. I mean,
Bison?
the population of North Dakota isn't that like 15 people?
Feels that way.
It's 30.
30? Okay.
Outside of Fargo, anyway.
Oh.
But it's irrelevant to the main thesis of this topic, where it's sports should not be where
Hosted
only where the
necessarily?
population is. It should not be only where rich people are. It should be a more fundamental level, because from a very young age, every American is introduced and experiences sport. So I think making it this weird private thing that everyone aspires to, as opposed to making it a more public thing, is a better use of those resources.
So
But
question-
also making it more competitive, because more people will be allowed, or not more people will be allowed, but more people would be needed if all 50 states had a 53-man football roster,
I have a question though.
as opposed to just 32
Because
of them.
not every state has an equal GDP, basically. Like,
Yeah.
not every state has the same kind of funding, or will be willing to put the same kind of funding into their sport, right? And there's really no point in like being the host if you have a poorer state or a state that doesn't have the same kind of resources, like North Dakota.
But would that not be another
For example.
avenue of resource enrichment for that state?
Yes, but here's the problem: is if there's no one there to go to the games, if there's not enough people to go to the games on a regular basis, then there's no point in having the team hosted there. So you have, teams getting shipped off to LA where there's plenty of people and plenty of interest and plenty of money to
Yeah.
be shoveled into that play to go see them play.
Yeah, from the
Physically.
state, but private individuals make the money off of it. Why not have that same financial investment to make a 20,000 seat stadium in
Yeah,
Fargo
but the game
for a
is
professional team?
gonna be
But you
lopsided
still
though.
need people
Why?
who are willing to go.
It's the same draft. They have the same financial requirements.
No, it's like
People
the
aren't gonna
yeah.
go. It's not as easy to go to a game as it is in like LA.
Those 15 people, sometimes 30 people, all have to carpool to get to the stadium.
Well, that's why they have the long tractor trailer.
In the
I
snow.
I know, but in the snow.
Uphill both ways.
Yes.
You don't.
You know
With
how
their
hilly
horse,
North
with
Dakota
their
is.
horse and
Plus-
buggy because they don't have cars there.
Those tractors
Don't
use
you
pink
know?
fuel, and the cops find out they're using those tractors on real roads.
Mm-hmm.
They get super fined.
Yep.
What, are you kidding me? They get a police escort at that point. I've seen it.
But the cop is in the tractor. Look, you're not thinking this.
No, the
through,
cop
Micah.
is still in the car.
The fucking lights are on the tractor hood.
I do
It's
think
really
there's.
easy to speed North Dakota. Those tractors do not go fast, and that's all the cops have.
It's true.
I don't know if it's
just have to
possible
have a
to
faster
have
horse.
a balanced 50 state roster though.
Yeah.
Like, well,
So you can also have it be a two-tier thing, where you have like the Premier League, which fluctuates
Well, and what
based
about
on other organizations in European football. You can have the same thing here, where 20 teams, which could be the poorer states, so North Dakota, South Dakota, Vermont, all get like the B League. But they're still a professional league, and if they do very well, they get bumped up to the top 30.
yeah.
And then Cleveland, because Cleveland always sucks, gets bumped back down to the lower 20. Then you have still a two-tier thing, but there could be a lot of progression. There's a lot more. It's turning
I kind of
University
like
of
that idea
Alabama's
better.
Roll
Yeah.
Tide into a professional football team, basically.
Yeah, the problem though is that even with the UK style Premier League, right, or the way that they have those clubs, it's still basically on population centers. So I don't know
It's
if
because you need people who are willing to go
Yeah.
to the games and buy the food, the drinks, the
Yeah, but-
seats to watch them play.
Europe is a very what would it be?
Passionate about
No,
their
no, no.
soccer,
No,
football.
It is all based around that, but I don't understand how
hooligans.
taking the origin of like FIFA or the Premier League itself starting
And
over
Detroit.
100 years ago and being very tied into their, London town and metropolitan area having 8 teams that are some of the best teams in the world.
Uh-huh.
But not like, no, was Liverpool any good?
Yeah, Liverpool's good.
Okay, I'm trying to think of another
How-
town in England
What's
that
that?
may have a soccer team.
Leicester, whatever they call it.
That's still a suburb of London, isn't it?
Chelsea.
That's a suburb of London. Same thing with Manchester.
This is my problem.
Doesn't
And
matter.
Manchester United
No.
and Manchester City, those are
Look,
two different clubs
Are-
from the same city.
This seems like the LA problem all over again,
Yeah,
right?
too many teams.
Too many teams around populated areas of a suburb of
Yeah,
a
but
place
then
to
you-
super city.
Yeah.
But then you boot them out.
But
Because
so
the
they
state
can go
owns
play. So you can go play in a
In Utah.
That place that no one's gonna go visit.
Utah has a population. I'm guessing
They
they
do.
would like to have some more sports.
Well,
They're Mormons. I don't know. That might be too exciting.
Well, a burger's
Sorry, that
going to
was-
cost you $27, but you won't be wasting any money on shitty 3-2 beer.
Yeah, you know what they
That's
wouldn't. They
true.
wouldn't. That's true. They wouldn't be spending money on beer, but they would sell a shit ton of candy. Let me tell you.
Mm-hmm. Oh, and
Gotta
think of
have
it.
one
Think-
vice.
Yeah.
Think of it.
That's a
You
good
could
advice.
have like
No, it's not. It's terrible for you.
I know,
you,
but
you
I
could
love
have
it.
marital sheet night, where just every band is given a sheet with a hole in it about the midsection.
Okay, first of all, what? And second of all, why? All right.
I don't know.
No,
This lizard has not.
There-
No, I don't know if it's true, but I thought Mormons, when they procreated, have a sheet because if they enjoyed any part of sex
Oh,
or
I
saw
thought you were
any
talking about like a
enjoyment
sheet of
sex.
paper. You meant like a bed sheet.
Uh-huh.
Okay, sorry, you lost me.
Why would I ever say a sheet of paper? Why would I ever say
I
a
don't know.
sheet in terms of a sheet of paper?
I don't know, man. It's just where my mind went. Okay.
Also, cutting a hole in the sheet fabric isn't also in my head when you're talking about
Cutting.
Yeah, for this.
Think of
Acting
the paper cuts. That would hurt so much.
The whole premise of
No.
Mormon coitus action is
Doesn't
is,
exist. I don't even know.
I think
they
they
clearly
just
don't.
mm,
I'm just kidding.
storks are involved.
We're being real mean right now. Sorry.
true.
Sorry,
Sorry,
Utah.
Mormons.
Sorry, Utah. I mean,
Why?
a little.
Nobody in Utah listens to us. Fuck them.
That's true.
Well,
That's
No
right.
one-
Fuck you, Mormons.
Yeah, fuck you.
No one actually listens
No
to
one-
us.
yeah, that's
so
true.
no one's listening to this podcast, so it's okay.
Correct.
Look, I
I do have
don't-
to say, Uzbek, if you're Mormon, I apologize. Mormon is a great religion,
Yeah.
but Uzbek, please do better.
keep spreading the good book. My problem with their idea of the Premier League is that it doesn't work even with the concept of sending them out to less populated areas. Like you mentioned, it seems like all the good football teams are kind of in the
dense populated,
dense populated
areas. 'Cause
areas.
That's the place that can support the team.
and
Green Bay.
Different.
that's
Why?
They're just different.
Why are they different?
well, first
They
of all,
are. They're a national football team in a town of 50,000 people that has a waiting list to get onto a waiting list to have a chance at season tickets.
Because they're a specific type of team.
yeah.
But why can't that be elsewhere?
Because they don't have the same history.
How does history start? You just do a thing.
Yeah, you gotta win though. Like you gotta be like maybe if you like I don't see
That's
it.
why you scale the draft picks, so the lower 20 get the chance at the higher talented
Plus, it's
prospects.
not just
don't see that
Green
happening.
Bay; it's all of Wisconsin, first of all,
Yeah.
right? And
But
large
it's still
parts of
located
Minnesota.
in Green Bay. That's
Yeah.
a drive. That's a 2-hour drive from Milwaukee,
Right.
the largest.
It really should be in Milwaukee, but yeah, I would say that it's a
Well,
good.
it's most Milwaukee, you just care about the Bears. Because Milwaukee is the biggest Chicago suburb.
Well, first of
Fight
all,
me.
Yeah.
that's
me.
that's
Go ahead.
that's completely untrue. And second of all, yeah, you're right.
It's a Chicago suburb with casinos.
I also just can't see that I can't see like the places that don't have sports now. I honestly can't really see the excitement.
Like?
South Dakota, North
Iowa.
Dakota, Idaho, Nebraska.
Montana,
Yeah, pretty much.
Wyoming.
Especially Wyoming.
I mean, Oregon. I don't know.
The Trailblazers?
Do they have all four of the major?
No, they just have the basketball team.
Alaska, Hawaii. There might be enough people in Hawaii at one time, but the actual residents who live there, yeah, I can't imagine there being anything hosted there. No one would come to watch
The
them.
Pro Bowl game for like 50 years was held exclusively in Hawaii.
Yeah, but no one watches that.
But
Also-
people still attended?
Yeah, the 10 people
Rich
in the
people
stands.
attended.
So
Yeah.
why not have Hawaii have
one's
professional soccer,
No one's
professional football,
You know what I think? I think we should just have.
polo?
No, I think we should have regions. I think we
Polo
should.
with the horse or polo with the... Okay, I just wanted to make sure I'm talking about the right polo.
I think we should have divided regions. I don't think there needs to be 50, but maybe if there was like 20.
Why not one for every state?
That's too many.
Why?
It's just too many.
Why is it?
God, the brackets would be huge, man.
Why?
It's too many. Like, I look at.
You're thinking of 64 team March Madness as
I
opposed
fucking
to
hate March Madness. It's
as
too
a-
many.
as opposed to a 50 team
It's
professional
too many.
season?
Because there's a reason why it's called Madness.
No, it's called Madness because there are 1-win games and you don't know who's going to show up that day. They're
Also,
not series.
it's Madness is because March and Mad. It's the M. It's the alliteration. Anyway.
Yeah, because Manic March was just a bit too
crazy.
Insulting?
too close to
Too
home.
crazy?
Yeah.
Just too close to home.
Yeah. I don't know. I think it's too many. Because there's just not enough. I just don't think there's just not enough following. Like, there's just not enough people.
So how does Major League Baseball support not only Major League, but AAA, AA, Single A,
I don't know.
Developmental League, and a lower league below that? Major League Baseball supports 6 different baseball leagues
Yeah,
that
but
are
also
all differentiated by like age group, pay, market size.
But still not every state, and I don't think it would work for every state.
Most states.
And how many teams are there? I
You have-
don't fucking know. But
do
You
we
have 30 major league teams. You have
Okay.
30 AAA, AA, Single A.
okay, maybe the number of teams isn't the issue.
But do
I
you
think it
do you
partly
really
is.
want the states to run things like this?
I want them to benefit from something that their state's constituents benefit from.
Maybe they
as
should
an
do that.
entertainment source.
Maybe they should.
If
do
we're
that
gonna have
themselves.
bread and circuses like this, it should be a state thing. What Green Bay does, where Green Bay makes the money off the Packers, I think is the best model for professional sports.
You know what though, Micah? Because this is a free country and states have states' rights, I guess. Maybe the states could just fucking do it themselves.
God, you're right. The
Because-
Texas trans ban and
Because-
definitely telling parents that affirm their child's gender identity are
Okay.
criminals and committing child abuse because that state got it right.
No, that's
okay,
actually
you know
a
what
really
I
good
think
point,
about
though.
that particular issue? I think that was a fucking horrible thing for that person, that fucking asshole who made the law or whatever, or the policy thing. It was terrible. It was fucking horrible because actual children are going to suffer because of that law. What I think he did was he chose a fucking victim to sideline or distract from his probably legitimate criminal activities, and he's using these poor kids as a fucking distraction. I don't think it fucking matters.
What is Abbott distracting from?
Some
I don't know, his
corruption,
incompetence.
some incompetence, corruption.
Yeah, but what's
whatever.
the abortion bill? Everything he's done as governor of Texas has been just culture war
I think there's
bullshit.
Riling up his base, I guess.
Yeah, to distract from the shitty corruption that he's probably
But what
committing.
corruption?
Oh,
They're
I don't
not hiding their corruption.
I'm
Their corruption is there. It's
pretty-
fucking Texas.
I mean,
True,
you're
but
seeing
no,
the
I'm-
10% or 20% of the corruption iceberg.
I think there's I'm
I'm
pretty
sure
sure
it's
there's actual legal
corruption
shit
all the
going
way
on
down.
with that guy. I think there was
Yeah.
actually some legal shit, and that I think he's making these really awful, horrible attacks on these defenseless fucking victims, basically, to distract from the fact that he's being prosecuted in a court of law.
How does
right
that
now.
explain DeSantis' move in
No,
Florida?
fucking
No,
know
you
enough.
don't explain Florida Man. to anybody. It's just Florida Man.
Florida
Self-explained.
Him berating teenagers. You don't have to put on the COVID theater anymore. All right, they don't really do anything anyway.
Well, I think the other issue then is each state is pretty stupid in how they handle their resources.
Yeah,
I mean, Minnesota is pretty stupid too. Like we have a
it
what?
could be worse, but yeah.
Don't we have like an $8 or $9 billion surplus?
Yeah, which I think they're talking about lowering taxes or whatever.
And it's like
they say they're gonna do.
the
We'll see.
we're really stupid with our money, and so I think that Minnesota as a state is really stupid in their management of just.
I would
Alright,
rather
alright,
have a
regular
surplus
things.
though.
I-
than a
I-
deficit.
I know, but
I have a caveat now.
Mm.
University sports are now the professional sport.
Oh, I hate it. Nope.
but
You can-
what?
Pay
can-
your fucking
you-
new students then.
No, yeah, but that's
Yeah.
what it is.
Yeah.
They don't get scholarships. They don't get college credit. They
They get
just
paid for
they
games.
go to the University of Minnesota to play sports.
Yep, they get paid
That's it.
for the game.
Ah,
And
okay,
they
cool.
can take classes if they want.
They can pay for them.
They can pay for them.
Yeah.
Sure. With
Yeah.
their awesome salaries that
Or-
they're going to get for playing.
Or
for
they
the
can
fucking
take
team.
a sports scholarship, but have to maintain their academic.
GPA.
But the athletes at the U of M, they would actually get paid real money.
yeah, instead of
They're not students; they're just professionals.
They could be. You could have student athletes, but also just hire on professional. You get $40,000 to play here as an 18-year-old after high school.
Yeah, I mean most.
You play for the
states-
Gophers, you get $40,000.
I don't think there's a single state that doesn't have a university, right? Like clearly, this is probably.
So we already have the infrastructure.
Yeah, no.
Most of those schools already have the footprint for whatever
Yeah.
sport may play there.
Yeah.
So it's not a matter of well, Burlington, Vermont have a football stadium. Well, God, they do. Because they have one for the University of Vermont.
Yeah, I'm fine with
guessing.
that. I think that's
So the infrastructure is already there in all states, so why not just make it at the national level? Fuck, colleges play on Saturdays anyway.
I was going to say, the stadium's probably not big enough, though, for the...
You're talking about there won't be enough people to watch, so if there's only a 20,000-seat stadium in North Dakota, that fits their 572,000 population.
That would be perfect.
Yeah.
But in LA, that's not going to fucking
But I'm not
fly.
saying that has to be standardized.
Because
you can
the
have
level of sport needs to be standardized.
So why is the University of Michigan have the biggest seating stadium in the world? Not in the world, in America. For
for the most part, America is the world.
Nah,
so,
probably because they want to sell it as a venue.
For 110,000 seats?
Sure.
That's a shit ton of seats.
It's a lot of seats. Sure.
With a 300 by...
Maybe they wanted Trump to come and they built it for him. You know, if you build it, he will come. Maybe
Michigan.
Maybe they wanted him to come.
I'm talking about Ann Arbor here.
Yeah. You know, that's
maybe
a red state, right?
No, I'm just kidding. I don't fucking...
Michigan?
Yeah.
Maybe they wanted
No.
to... Maybe they
absolutely.
wanted to...
No, Michigan is like Minnesota blue. Like
Nah.
all metro areas are very
Pretty much,
democratic.
pretty much.
And if you get to any place where there are 4 trees between a house, ooh, that shit is red as fuck.
First of all, yeah, that's true. Second of all, fuck yeah, you're right. So, okay, the problem I have with...
Wait, it's that's true and I'm right, so
Yes.
double affirmative?
You're double affirmative.
Don't give him that.
You're right. You gotta call him. He's right, Micah.
About the 4 trees thing, anyway.
The problem I have with you have to change an NCAA to make it
No. That's a different topic of paying collegiate players. I'm saying that because of colleges, you have the infrastructure to have professional teams play with what is assumed is the draw of that particular sport.
Oh, so weird though. I mean, how would the draft even work? You would be
You go with the
drafting
lower
high schoolers?
No.
Yeah, because
No. Every state has professional teams owned by the state that use the university's
the public ground
stuff.
universities.
Yes.
Okay.
That
gotcha.
use the university's infrastructure unless they have something else.
Right.
So it wouldn't be the university team?
No. It would be the Minnesota Vikings would play at US Bank Stadium but they already have US
But
Bank.
it wouldn't. Yeah, but it wouldn't be the U.S. Bank
Yeah.
Stadium in North Dakota. It would be.
It would be the Fargo Dome.
The Fargo.
Wherever
The Fargo
UND
Bison.
play, where NDSU play.
But they would be a professional level.
They would be a professional level North Dakotan team.
Okay.
Not the
But
university's
it wouldn't
team.
be. Yeah. Okay. So it wouldn't be the Bison. It
No.
would be
The-
some other.
The North Dakota Oilers.
Sure. Whatever.
Yeah, this
It
could
wouldn't
work.
be the Oilers.
Yeah,
You
no,
have
this
the
could work.
infrastructure because
Yeah.
Idaho has a football stadium.
Yep.
They probably have a baseball stadium. They have, I don't know, maybe fucking make track and field a bigger sport. So that's something that isn't just watched every 4 years at a really gross and corrupt Olympics.
Uh-huh.
Like, there are a lot
Were
more
there
ways.
Olympics this year?
2.
Yes.
There were 2 in the last 12
That
months.
was a joke. Yeah.
And neither of them were watched.
Yeah. What a waste.
I watched them.
Oh, the Winter Olympics was so depressing.
Did not. But I did see a few Reddit posts about the food
Just a skier.
and the controversies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the
All
what?
those.
Wasn't there a moose or a deer inside one of the buildings?
That's
Anyway.
hilarious and great.
That just needs to be a new sport.
Moose chasing?
Have you
I'd
tried-
watch it.
Have you
I'd
tried
watch
to tie
it.
down a moose with a lasso?
No, but I did watch a show. God, what was it? It was Alone, where one of the seasons, I think it was like season 3 or 6, I can't remember. Some guy killed a moose.
Way too
And
specific.
he
Killed a moose?
He killed a moose and he spent the entire fucking season trying to protect his fucking moose carcass because it kept on getting eaten or stolen or
From the other
raided by other
animals?
animals, and he had to build a fucking
Oh, that's
tall
so-
ass
Yeah.
thing to throw up the meat on top so
Oh my
nothing could get up
God.
there except something got up there. Oh,
No,
so-
you.
That's
the,
sad.
the drama.
The
soon
drama
as
of
you
this
have that
guy's
carcass-
blood being eaten from him.
It was
Yeah,
great.
you need to build a lean-to and you need to put a fire under that until it's all smoked.
Oh man, and just the calorie concerns. Yeah, I think it must have been season 6 or something because it was back when people
You need
figured
to-
out that it was It was all about the calories.
Yeah.
You need to stop watching that show. 'cause
Why?
You know,
Why do you?
you know way too many specifics about that show.
It's
For
good.
it to
It's
be
a great
healthy.
show.
It's a good show.
Anytime I like something and get passionate about it, you're like, you need to stop doing that. You need to stop watching that. No, fuck you. I'm gonna watch what I want. If I get any passion out of anything at this point in my life, after 2017 till now, I think that's a fucking win for me. Okay, don't take that away from me.
People enjoy things, Micah.
Yeah,
Just
fuck
let
you.
them enjoy it.
Let me have my passion.
For one, no. For two, that's what I wanted you to do. Thank you.
I fucking hate him so much.
Well, in this episode, Micah creates the whole draft idea of having each state sponsor a sport.
No. It should be state-owned
A
teams.
state-owned team. I'm still kind of on the fence that I would want a
Same.
state to own anything because they're pretty stupid.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, like you're looking at me like I don't trust them, but I'm not talking about Minnesota, which we're
Oh,
kind of
no. It's
half stupid here.
It's absolutely going to be awful, but it's less awful than 30 owners just taking so much money from states.
That's fair.
That's
Yeah,
what I
but-
don't like.
I don't
I
like
I would
it.
rather have
And
misuse and mismanagement over a very select few getting incredibly rich in something that will very rarely
then-
depreciate in value.
And then asking the fucking state to put its
No, not
money,
asking.
demanding the state put
Well,
its money,
blackmailing, right?
yeah,
Or
its money
Extorting.
into
extorting.
It's
if you-
extorting.
new fucking stadiums that the
Hey, build us a new
taxpayers-
stadium, or I guess we'll be the third LA team.
Yep.
Yeah, fuck
I
that.
don't know. Like in my opinion, I don't really see how this would work well for states like Texas that would just pull all sorts of stupid shenanigans if they owned a team. And I just feel like mismanagement is one thing which I think Minnesota would do. But I think the type of like shitty underhanded tools and techniques that southern states would do to make sure that they want their athletes to be a certain type so that they can win political points. That is something that I already see happening at the private level. I'm pretty sure that would be much worse at a state-owned level. And the worst part is if it's state-owned, then the citizens have the right to sue and complain to the state for all sorts of stupid legal loopholes, and it'll just be a shit
Well,
show.
they still have the right to sue corporations too.
Yeah,
Money,
right, but corporations have, like, I don't know.
Wait,
Okay,
hold on.
lawyers
So if the
Army of
Vikings
lawyers.
lose, can I sue the Wilfs for a poor product?
No, but you could
The
sue
Wilfs?
That's who own the Vikings.
you could sue the
God.
Wilfs if,
They're New Jersey.
You can try to sue them.
but they're shielded pretty much because they have a liability as a private owner and all that other crap, and they have an army of lawyers. But if it was the state of Minnesota that did something stupid, that maybe hurt a player, or
Like what?
I don't know, maybe you have concussions from football and they
'Cause
knew
they-
about it.
Or
But if you have
if
50
some kid
teams,
takes a spill down a terribly designed bucket seat, whatever, in the I don't know,
Or
that
a
wasn't
bunch of-
maintained
what?
well.
No. Are you saying that the liabilities that current NFL owners have? Because apparently this is just an NFL conversation.
I guess. I don't know.
Well, that's just all I know. I don't-
Yeah.
Yeah, we don't know. We don't care about any others.
That's,
Yeah.
that's where most of my references have been coming from. So I'm like, yeah, 4 major sports, but talk about this football team.
Yeah.
Even go ahead.
But it's like, are you saying that states wouldn't have that same liability concern and they wouldn't plan for that? If
They probably
some kid was a dumbass and leaned over the plexiglass and fell down to the tier below?
Oh no. The state wouldn't want to have that because they don't want to have that type of shitty shenanigans. They don't have an army of lawyers.
But they're the
They-
state.
as
They
good
have
as they could have an army of
they have state employed lawyers.
yeah.
They already have an army of lawyers.
Granted, they aren't well paid.
They're not okay.
Um,
First of all,
They're state lawyers.
if you're a state
they're
lawyer,
not going to be as good.
you're
necessarily
probably
Yeah, I'm not looking for Johnny Cochran here, but
So they're going to lose a lot more, which means they're probably going to lose a lot more money to
Yeah.
people who are like.
I'm
serious-
sure
then it
our-
goes back to the citizenry of the state.
Yeah, and the citizenry of the state.
it's just fucking terrible.
I'm
I'm just saying that if you're hoping that the state would handle something like this,
obvious.
that
Oh,
and
absolutely,
they,
it's obvious.
I'm
There are a
just-
lot more kinks to work out. That's it.
I'm just talking about the liability side. I don't even know about the stupid shenanigan shit they're gonna pull off. Like, oh, we don't want to have that player because that player is not American enough. And they're just gonna score political points and make a whole farce of the whole thing. That's my opinion.
You do know Joey Bosa, one of NFL's most predominant Trump supporters, plays for San Francisco, right? And people still cheer him.
I don't know this, but okay, I'll take your word for it on that because I don't know anything about sports. I don't really watch sports or TV.
He won Defensive Rookie of the Year as a defensive end, accumulating a total of like 17 sacks.
People like winners.
And underdogs.
Regardless of their political ideology.
So it's winners or underdogs?
Both.
Lowest common. Well, yeah, underdogs are winners.
Yeah.
That's the thing. That's
No, they're not.
Yes, they are. They're
Not if you look at 80s movies. In 80s movies, underdogs lost, and you felt good when they lost.
They're
No,
bad movies.
that's,
That's why 90s are way better because they learned from that shit. That didn't work.
No.
Mighty Ducks.
Who are these losers? What movies? I can't think of any.
Because they're so bad.
I can think of a lot
they just simply don't exist anymore.
I can think of a few like sports animes where the kids team or whatever got to the finals or got to the the Koshien tournament or whatever, but they lost.
Haven't you ever seen Moneyball?
And the drama and stuff and all that shit, but like that's cartoons.
Have you not seen Moneyball?
No. Nope.
Yeah.
The Athletics don't make it to the World Series. They lose to the Twins.
Oh.
Yeah.
Hilarious.
Because that was based on a true story.
Yeah.
And that was way back in 2003 when we had a great closer named Everyday Eddie.
Back in the day.
Eddie Gordado.
Back in the day.
Threw like 86 miles an hour, but still struck fools out.
Yeah, I don't watch a lot of sports movies. And most of the ones I watched were...
That's why you just watch basketball and call it good. Anyway, every state should have a sports team that the citizenry can rally around that isn't underpaid college kids.
Isn't it obvious that I really just don't have an opinion because I just don't really care about sports?
I'm kind of with you here, Sarah. Like, now we're going to just cut Micah off this podcast, and we're in the last 3 minutes, we're going to say, I don't really care about sports.
I really don't.
Like, if all sports just disappeared, I think I would just
so
be
sad.
fine.
Yeah.
What will people do with their time then?
Micah, you're not allowed to talk.
Fine, I'm going to drink.
All of the other drink probably would be one of the things.
Micah has been forced out of the table.
Yeah, he's been tabled. Yeah, I don't know. I don't care about sports.
Yeah, I think that's a problem, though. Maybe Micah's right because we don't care about professional sports because it's all just bullshit. And if there was a local sport we could cheer for, maybe we'd have more investment.
Yeah, I mean, I like our little local teams.
Yeah,
even
St.
our
Paul Saints and whatever.
Yeah, and I like our MLS team actually. I've gone seen them play a few times, but again, I'm not like a diehard fan. Like I'm not going to every game. I'm not buying season tickets. I don't have that loyalty.
I wish there was more neighborhood sports, to be honest.
I do get a little passionate though when I go see it. Sorry, neighborhood sports.
Yeah, I mean, like it used to be corporations would have their own thing, right?
Like the Packers.
And that's kind of how
have their
you would.
little leagues or whatever in between each other. Or something.
Yeah, because
No,
it's
the Packers were funded by a meatpacking.
Yeah, I know, but like there would be like other
they play
corporations.
Milwaukee.
corporations,
that they
yeah.
play, yeah.
Like in The Simpsons, isotopes, right? Like it's. I think that's fair because people want to actually play the sport, I think. And they want to compete against people of their own level.
Yeah.
And it's kind of fun to cheer for your neighborhood versus some stupid, I don't know, corporation that pretends it cares about your state but just doesn't give a shit. Like, I think
actually harming it.
we're so cynical about major sports that...
Like when you look at the Premier League and all of it's like Arab Airlines, not the Emirate Airlines or something that owns Madrid.
Oh, did you guys see the logo for God, I can't remember what team it was, but they had Bimbo on it. Basically, it says Bimbo on their jersey.
Oh, yeah.
Or even our MLS team has a big target on it, which I think is kind of funny.
Yeah.
In its own.
Bimbo's like the Chinese company for food, isn't it?
No, it's Mexican.
Mexican?
I think.
Okay.
Or Spanish.
The NBA in recent seasons has allowed marketing on their jerseys.
I think it's Spanish.
And it was very funny to see the LA Clippers sponsored by Bumble.
Funny.
What the hell is Bumble?
The dating app.
The dating app.
Oh.
Took me a minute, but I remembered that existed.
No,
Spain. I think it's a Spanish company. Sorry.
I just feel like I don't care about sports because there's really no stakes in it for me.
Yeah, that too.
But if it was at a more local level, I think it would be kind of cool to cheer for our.
Yeah, but it would also be more affordable to go to, right?
Right, like it'll just be more of a thing to do.
And it would be
because
more intimate because like it'd be all your neighbors. It wouldn't be as expensive. You could actually get there without having the hassle of like finding parking. Like it would be.
Well, think of when we've gone to Twins games. Would they have been more enjoyable if you had a taxed stake in the team, as opposed to just being there for the people watching and occasional baseball?
I don't know that I really know or understand the difference. Like, I don't know that I would make... Like, I don't know whether if it's a state-funded thing versus a... I don't know.
Because sports now, professional sports teams, are this weird amorphous extra state, but still state-affiliated organization.
There's like the state identity is already built in there.
Yeah.
For the ones who actually are playing in it.
So why should a dude from Jersey benefit off of us having a collective, us Minnesotans having a collective support of the Vikings?
No, that's why I stopped caring about sports, because it seems like it's so disconnected from me. Yeah. It's like, why am I rooting for the Vikings, which have very little other than taking my money?
Most people aren't rooting for their specific sport anyway. They're rooting for their fantasy team.
Yeah, which is way better.
Which is
way better.
A different animal entirely.
For football, maybe.
Yeah.
Not for the other sports.
True. You can't really do that with...
Because hockey in Minnesota is more... like, we care way more about the Wild because we lost the North Stars.
That's true.
And that's why the Wild have been shitty for so long, but have a really fervent fan base.
Well, and I will say hockey seems more like the Minnesota sport. Like, it feels more...
Sure, but what about the Panthers?
Who the hell are the Panthers?
The Florida Panthers.
Oh, well, we don't talk about them. Because
or the Tampa Bay Lightning.
Oh, you mean the was it the Thunder? Just kidding, no.
No.
Didn't we have the Minnesota
Oklahoma
Thunder?
City Thunder?
No, it was the Minnesota Thunder.
I'm going to argue
but anyway.
Other thing
the road girl team?
too, Micah, is that it seems like people do care about sports, but they go to like these high school games. It's like the kids playing because it's the most local you can get, right?
Yeah.
But I find it kind of sad because I'm going to say capitalism. It's like people work, 40, 50, 60 hours a week just to make ends meet. Like, I don't, even if you had a local sports team that actually were grown-ups, you know, like, hey, what are you doing this Thursday? Oh, we're going to, swing the bat. It doesn't fucking exist because they're overworked. By the time they're done with work, they're just
4-day work week. 32 hours.
No.
Yes.
No, fuck that.
Isn't it obvious that we should be working 32 hours, 4-day work week at the same rate as 40?
We have taken over this podcast.
Yes, this is perfect.
30.
No.
30. Fuck 8-hour days. Why do we need to care about 8-hour days?
Because no one is working 8-hour days anyway.
You know what?
Yeah, we all work 8-hour days.
No.
Fuck.
24 hours. 24
30.
hours, 4 days a week. 6-hour days.
No.
Perfect. It would be
no lunch
perfect.
break.
Sure.
OSHA would still be involved.
Don't care. I don't need a lunch break.
You do.
I know.
What the fuck's wrong with you?
Yeah, lunch break, but it's within those 6 hours.
Yeah. So maybe 7 hours. You get that hour.
No, 6 hours.
How do you think you get to 30 in 4 days?
Look.
You're still paid for your lunch, though. Damn.
We are the most...
So really you're only working 5 hours and you get an hour lunch break.
Yes.
So
We
really...
are one of the most productive... workers.
It's amazing we got out of the pandemic with only $2,000 going to most families.
Yeah, that really tied me over with gas and fucking
all right,
$5.
hey, thanks, Mom.
So
sports.
It's obvious that the work week should be like 5 hours a day, Monday
Thank
through
you
Thursday.
for wrapping back around my topic.
Then we'll have time
to play
go
sports
and like be in shape and have a better quality of life.
Enjoy the neighborhood, root for the local
involved in our
team,
communities.
Have picnics.
God, those were never the days.
Alright, the fact that you both are giving me death glares with sticking your tongue out and wagging them side to side very profusely, I am feeling personally attacked here.
That's an exaggeration, and I would like to say for the record that did not happen.
It happened.
It's a lying lie that lies.
It happened in my mind though, so just so we're aware.
Yeah, but only one of the three of us is actually recording this, so I'll see you in court.
What a whiner. Alright, thanks, Mom.
Bye, Mom.
Winner.